I think we're going to get started. So I'd like just to begin by saying good morning to everyone. I'm Noel Bakhtian, the Director for the Center for Advanced Energy Studies, CAES. On behalf of the CAES leadership, I'm so pleased to welcome you all to this virtual groundbreaking ceremony for the construction project to install a new transmission electron microscope, or TEM, at the CAES facility in Idaho Falls. CAES is a research, education, and innovation consortium that brings together 5 members. One is the Department of Energy's Idaho National Laboratory, INL, and the other 4 are the public research universities of Idaho and Wyoming. So Boise State University, Idaho State University, University of Idaho, and University of Wyoming. At CAES, we're committed to conducting cutting-edge research, educating the next generation of scientists and engineers, and partnering with industry to advance competitiveness. CAES was conceived more than a decade ago to be a catalyst for solving complex energy problems, and we accomplished that by activating the world-class research assets at INL in combination with those at the regional research universities. At CAES, we're all about collaboration, solving challenges as a team in partnership. And it's by finding creative ways to leverage our collective expertise, capabilities, resources, people, and equipment and facilities that we're really showing the world that we're stronger together than the sum of the parts. To that end, CAES has adopted a hub and spoke model, the hub being our beautiful headquarters here in Idaho Falls, which is the location for this project, and the spokes are located on the university campuses throughout Idaho and Wyoming, and also the INL facilities in Idaho Falls, serving as a resource for students, for faculty, and for INL researchers, and boasting world-class equipment. The new TEM is an example of that. Transmission electron microscopes, or TEMs, allow researchers to see images of objects at the atomic level, which is imperative when dealing with advanced manufacturing and materials research, and that it really allows the researchers to see how a material is reacting in a hostile or extreme environment, like those perhaps found in a nuclear reactor. When this project is finished, the new TEM at CAES will be housed in CAES's Microscopy and Characterization Suite, which you'll hear referred to today as MAX. And it will complement the existing cutting-edge equipment in MAX, including another TEM, a focused ion beam, and a local electron atom probe. Like I mentioned, CAES is all about collaboration, leveraging those resources at member institutions to accomplish the goals that no one institution could accomplish alone. And MAX exemplifies that. It's outfitted with world-class resources from most of the CAES entities. It serves as a resource for all of us across the CAES Connected Campus, along with Boise State Lab Lead Yechao Wu, Idaho State Safety Officer Christy Moser-McIntyre, and investments in infrastructure by INL. MAX is also a nuclear science user facility, which means that nuclear energy researchers from all over the world can access the lab at no cost to the researcher. MAX's status as an NSUF facility was the biggest factor in MAX bringing in more than 1,000 visitors in FY19, and the new TEM will bolster its appeal among these researchers and will contribute to the expansion and advancement of innovative nuclear research at CAES. Dr. Simon Pimblott in a moment is going to speak more about what this project means for NSUF. This new TEM is more technologically advanced than any of the current TEM resources across the CAES consortium in a number of ways. The technical details are available on our website, caes.org, so I won't get into too much detail there. But this new TEM has much better energy resolution. It's capable of analyzing light elements, such as carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. It can capture more than 1,000 times the diffraction patterns per second, which allows researchers to see dynamic material behavior, such as phase changes, such as crystallization in harsh environments, like those found in a reactor core, for example. This is a significant lab investment in equipment, and it really reflects the importance of CAES to the INL strategy, as well as the support from NSUF. This would not have been possible without either of those organizations. The TEM is the largest CAES acquisition in some time, but it's really just the start of a whole new slew of activity related to the CAES Advanced Manufacturing Working Group and the set of CAES Advanced Manufacturing Labs across the consortium. For example, this is a huge step in advancing the collaborative research, education, and innovation pillars outlined in the CAES strategy. On the research front, the new TEM is maintaining the CAES Max Lab status as state-of-the-art and benefiting our research outcomes. As I like to say it, we're doing research bigger, better, badder because of this new equipment. You'll hear more about that from others. On the education front, it's really going to play a key role in our efforts to develop an energy workforce pipeline through MAX training and education of the next generation of scientists and engineers. And finally, on the innovation front, in addition to supporting the work across INL and the universities, this new TEM is really going to attract private industry to the table as well. With that, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to turn it over to the CAES Steering Committee Chair, Dr. Marianne Walck, who is also the INL Deputy Lab Director for Science and Technology and INL's Chief Research Officer. Marianne, over to you.
Thank you, Noel. Good morning. It's my pleasure to participate in the virtual groundbreaking for our new spectra transmission electron microscope. This TEM is INL's latest investment in CAES. It's designed to create opportunities for collaborative materials research. A TEM is not a simple optical microscope like you may recall from your science high school classes. This room-sized instrument represents a significant investment for INL and CAES capabilities on the order of $5 million. As you know, CAES was designed to leverage the resources at the universities and at our national lab to help solve complex energy challenges and to help develop the next generation of energy workers. CAES' proximity to INL's research and education campus enables several INL mission areas to grow collaborative materials research programs with external partners, including the CAES universities, other universities, and also with industry. As the nation's energy landscape shifts from carbon-based generation sources, such as coal and natural gas, to carbon-free sources, there is a significant need for research and development in areas like energy storage and advanced nuclear reactor technologies. This low-carbon future also amplifies the need for a robust, skilled, and diverse workforce. The new TEM will assist the analysis and development of advanced materials that are critical to the nation's new energy landscape, supporting both INL's research missions and the CAES research and education missions. The purchase of this TEM fits in beautifully with the overall strategy for CAES, which incorporates elements of research education and innovation, as Noel mentioned, focused on technical areas of mutual interest to INL and the 4 CAES universities. This TEM also enhances the NSF user facility model by providing truly state-of-the-art microscopy to complement our atom probe and focused ion beam capabilities. I'd like to add my congratulations to the entire CAES team on this impactful and significant accomplishment that will advance research and development at INL and with universities and industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Now we're going to turn to Dr. Simon Pimblott, who is INL's Nuclear Science and Technology Directorate Fellow and a Chief Post-Irradiation Scientist for the Nuclear Science User Facilities, or NSUF. Over to you, Simon.
Thank you very much, Noel. First of all, thank you for inviting the NSUF to be part of this event. The NSUF is the DOE's only national user facility, and unlike conventional Office of Science facilities, it's a distributed capability, utilizing the facilities of over 20 partner institutions. And the MAX capability is a very large part of that, and it's a very large part of what makes the NSUF successful. It's participated in nearly 200 of our rapid turnaround experiments, that's our core science efforts, as well as numerous of our larger Consolidated Innovation in Nuclear Research awards. The new TEM will considerably enhance the offering of MAX, returning it to the capability to the state-of-the-art, the world leading. The ability to perform cutting-edge electron microscopy on irradiated materials is going to prove invaluable to researchers, both from the local Idaho and Wyoming universities and to INL, as well as to the broader community that the NSUF serves. I personally look forward to being exposed to some of the spectacular science that we're going to see. It's really going to be a very exciting time. And once again, thank you for involving us in this special event, Noel.
Thank you so much, Simon. With that, we're going to turn to Dr. David Estrada, the CAES Associate Director for Boise State University, which operates MAX. He's also an associate professor in the Micron School of Material Science and Engineering at BSU and an NSF Career Awardee. Dave.
Thank you, Noel. Good morning, everyone. As Noel mentioned, I am the AD for Boise State, but I'm also the lead for the CAES Advanced Manufacturing Working Group, along with Dr. Rob O'Brien from INL. First of all, I want to express my sincere thanks to INL for entrusting this investment to MAX, and to CAES and NSUF for their long-lasting partnerships with MAX. I think it's important to remember that ultimately these investments are made possible because of the people who act as stewards for such investment. Therefore, I want to be sure to acknowledge Professor Ye-Chao Wu and his team for building and sustaining our working relationships with INL, CAES partners, and the NSUF. I also want to acknowledge Professor Amy Moll, who helped catalyze this effort when she was the CAES AD for Boise State, and along with Professor Wu, represented the interests of the MAX user community throughout the process. As Dr. Bakhtian mentioned, the new TEM will complement an existing suite of materials characterization tools which attracts users from across the nation and as far away as Oxford University. What she did not mention is that the tool will also complement a new 3D metal printer which will be housed in the CAES facility. Led by Professor Mike Hurley, a team of Boise State University and INL researchers were recently awarded a general infrastructure grant through NSUF to procure a direct metal laser sintering powder bed metal printer. This tool complements the laser-enabled net shaping and digital light projection 3D metal printers housed in the EIL. Importantly, the proposal included letters of support from the entire CAES executive board, highlighting the potential for the impact the tool will have on the CAES community. Together with the TEM and other tools at MAX, CAES and NSUF and INL are now positioned to understand the atomic scale nature of the structure property processing correlations of additively manufactured parts using these 3 different metal printers. Such capabilities dovetail nicely into 5 technical areas identified by the AM working group for collaboration for advanced manufacturing under extreme conditions. Early in March, the AM working group met in Boise. We hosted about 50 researchers from the CAES universities, the Idaho National Lab, regional industry, and other DOE, NASA, and DoD national partners. Of the 5 technical thrusts identified, understanding the behavior of materials crosscuts all of them. The investment in tools such as this TEM will enable all CAES partners to contribute to advanced manufacturing for extreme environments and lead to new fundamental knowledge about materials behavior under such harsh conditions in order to advance the global advanced manufacturing community. On behalf of MAX and the CAES AM community, I want to thank INL and DOE for such an amazing investment, and I'll now turn it over to Harold Blackman, our Vice President of Research and CAES Steering Committee member.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. And I really want to begin by echoing Dave's comments about the privilege to have run the MAX facility on behalf of CAES, and additionally supporting the important National Scientific User Facility at INL. It is truly a privilege, and it's one that we take seriously and with a great deal of responsibility to run that facility in a way that is the most effective. I'd like to kind of turn my comments now to 2 things. One is really impact, and the other is leveraging resources and how those are interrelated. The acquisition of this device it's just a continuation of what CAES has done over the years in terms of procuring differentiating equipment. And I can't stress the importance of that to the university, to all the universities, and really to the country in being able to execute the kind of research that really makes a difference. This type of equipment allows us to write proposals which are more successful. It allows us to attract the best and brightest to our programs, and really enables us to build the kinds of teams that were originally foreseen by the designers and really all user facilities across the country. So a big thank you to the INL for making this investment, and a big thank you to all the partners of CAES for working together to support MAX and do the cutting edge research that we all know that is important to our country and to the nation. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Harold. Yes, next we're going to hear from Dr. Gabriel Ilabare, Manager of INL's Materials Science and Engineering Department. Over to you, Gabriel.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Noel, and organizers for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. I apologize for lack of video. I'm running into technical problems. So I'd like to thank all the stakeholders who made this possible. This has been a long time coming in terms of getting such a high-end instrument. This TEM allows us to actually prosecute and characterize material down to the atomic level. It is one of the most advanced TEMs, not just in INL, but in the world, and greatly enhances our capabilities to better understand materials and to develop these state-of-the-art materials. It will contribute to programs like our advanced reactor technology programs, which is focused on the development of advanced gas-cooled reactors. It will also contribute to other programs like the advanced solar technologies programs, advanced vehicle technology, and advanced manufacturing techniques that look at both materials and chemicals. To also feature and will be central to all our advancements in the development of extreme environment materials. This TEM will also allow us to develop new homegrown capabilities. Over the last 12 years or so, some of our projects have had to resort to outside assistance in order to be able to develop some of the techniques required to prosecute advanced and newly developed materials. With this machine, we will be able to bring all those needs and prosecute all those needs in-house, and also attract talent and the expertise required to put us on the map, on the scientific and engineering map in terms of developing these capabilities. It is my hope that we will take full advantage of this instrument in order to be able to reach and fulfill our grand goals, our grand challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. And with that, we're going to turn to our last speaker, Dr. Mitchell Meyer, Director of the Characterization and Advanced Post-Irradiation Examination Division at INL's Materials and Fuels Complex, and also an INL Directorate Fellow. Thank you, Mitchell.
Thank you, Noel. It's hard to beat speaker number 6, but I'm going to share a little bit of historical perspective here. So imagine that you're a physician and you don't have access to any diagnostic abilities such as MRI, computer tomography, PET scans, or maybe even not two-dimensional X-rays to diagnose problems or failures in bodily systems. Without specific information about the function of those systems, you're limited to making a guess and prescribing, your choice of leeches, mercury, or cod liver oil. So it's hard to believe, but a little more than a decade ago, the nuclear material science community was in a similar situation, with very few diagnostic instruments available. Not that good instruments weren't available, it's just that very few institutions were willing to take the risk of investing millions of dollars in an instrument that might be contaminated, or a facility that might be contaminated, making those instruments and facilities unusable. During those years, in the United States, we had very few options in nuclear material science. We had very few collaborations in foreign countries, such as Canada, Russia, Republic of Korea. But mostly we made a lot of bad decisions, some that we still live with today, based on incorrect assumptions about the evolution of materials under radiation. So as the first division director of NSUF and being a material scientist myself, the NSUF made it a priority to rectify that situation. And when some hard-fought funding became available in about 2008, I convinced Harold Blackman on this call and Orrin Hester that it was a good idea to build such a lab with state-of-the-art characterization equipment. And in CAES, and Max was born. And I want to thank them for taking that risk. That risk was important taking that risk was important in several ways, because Max showed that investing in dedicated instruments for nuclear material science was a good idea. Since that time, many others have followed. For example, at INL alone, including CAES, we have now 5 focused ion beams, 3 TEMs, many scanning electron microscopes, X-ray microscopes, etc., that are all heavily utilized for nuclear material scientists by the broad national and international nuclear research community. Perhaps most importantly, Max helped to establish a pipeline for nuclear material scientists by providing instruments specifically dedicated to nuclear materials. So I still have many CAES users in my division. Even though we have many of our own instruments, we still turn to CAES for many needs. And we look forward to the new TEM as a means of obtaining further understanding and building better materials through knowledge of the atomic level dynamic behavior of materials under radiation. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mitchell. And to all the speakers, really, for summing up how significant, in addition to CAES, this new TEM really is. Before we get to the virtual dig, I'd like to thank all the speakers for your work to make this unprecedented investment a success. CAES is all about collaboration, and the support from across the consortium for this new TEM really tells that story. There are so many I'd like to thank, so please direct your attention to the organizations and individuals on this slide. They were all very helpful in making this a reality. In particular, I would like to thank the Max team, Yachao Wu, Jeremy Bergner, Amy Mall, Mega Dubé, and Christy Moser-McIntyre. The NSUF team, of course, Rory Kennedy, Dan Ogden, Brendan Heydrich, Lindy Bean, and Simon Pimblott. Again, this would not have been possible without NSUF's continued support of Max. As well, I want to point out the construction project manager, Carson Strunks, and our CAES research operations lead, Jana Pfeiffer, who have been managing this day-to-day for more than a year. The CAES Steering Committee and Executive Board and Max Advisory Board have been invaluable, and of course, broad support from across ISU, BSU, INL, and the state. Okay, with that, I'm going to say let's get ready for this virtual dig. I'd like to invite all of the speakers, plus Yachao Wu, Jana Pfeiffer, and Amy Mall to participate. So get your shovels ready. And if you wouldn't mind turning on your videos. Fantastic. Waiting for a few more. Harold, your video is black. Okay, so everyone smile for a few seconds. Okay, congratulations. We have broken ground. Thank you so much. We're excited to get this project started, and we'll see everyone at CAES for the ribbon cutting in 2021. In the meantime, Matt's going to share some contact information on the screen. If you have any questions about Max, the construction project, or CAES in general, please be in touch. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And with that, CAES is signing off. Thank you so much.